Hey, welcome back to Game Hydro. I'm going to show you the Chapter 36 in Cell Survivor, the Love Never Get virus. Funny translation there. This one tends to stumble a lot of people on their quest from 32 to 40 or whatever it is. So we're going to go over it. Skills I use for this one. These are the skills I'm using. No real reason for the special effect tablet or the massage stick to be in there, but the disinfectant bubble is very important here. So is the medical tower, spinning dagger, sterile swab. And as always with this level, the recommended power level is a lie. So let's go to 36. And we are going to start the battle. All right, half decent selection here. I'm going to pick the sterile swab, even though it's going to be no, I'm going to see if I can get the bubbles. No bubbles for now, but that's all right. We'll get them later. So here she is, the Love Never Get virus. I'm going to do the shot quantity boost on the on that one, because that one tends to have a very strong effect when it comes to the acupuncture. All right, so we pick the daggers next, because even though they're not hitting right now, they will be hitting when the thing gets closer. Unfortunately, you can't really do any damage when it's off screen. You can just wait until it comes back. Size boost, obviously, because I'll be able to start hitting it sooner with the spinning daggers. Now, the one I really want here is the bubbles, because the shape that it creates when it's on screen is absolutely perfect to take a ton of damage from the bubbles. All right, here we're going to do acupuncture damage plus 50. That's going to have an extra outsized effect because of sorry, I lost my train of thought a bit there. I don't like any of these, but I don't want to watch an ad, so I'm just going to go capsule quantity plus 1. But at this point in the game, the capsules really aren't that important. The other skills are far more upgraded. I don't really care too much about the capsules. You're going to have to do a lot of upgrades on them in order to have kind of an outsized effect. All right. Now we're just going to see if we can get the bubbles from this gold chest right here. That's kind of what I'm shooting for. Yeah, there we go. And at this point in the level, if you were to have the sterile swab, it would really start taking effect, because you'd be able to hit multiple rows of this thing at a time. Now you can see the bubbles bouncing around, starting to do a little bit of damage. Spin speed increase. That's fine for now, but I wish it was the bubbles. But as you can see, the virus is moving in the opposite direction of your daggers, so spin speed increase is going to have a pretty nice effect. Let's see, disinfectant damage, we'll go with that one. Disinfectant bubble flight speed is an upgrade that I don't see the point of, because yeah, it hits a little bit sooner, but it doesn't do any more damage, and they have the same number of bounces either way. There we go, launch quantity plus 2. We want launch quantity upgrades for the bubbles so that you can shoot off a whole bunch of them at a time and do crazy amounts of damage. Out of these ones, we are going small medical tower because it's pretty close now. And when it's close, especially with a shape like this, small medical tower can have an outsized beneficial effect. Especially once you get upgrades like the red laser upgrade and the times or plus 200% upgrade. Ooh, more launch quantity. Here we go. You got a lot of bubbles bouncing around in a pretty small space now, but because it's a perfectly round shape, the bubbles still have a good amount of space to bounce around. Let's go spin speed increase. Now, it looks like we're kind of living on the edge here, but I'm in the exact space that I want to be in right now. Lots of bubbles, daggers moving fast, and medical tower. Out of these, let's go disinfectant and bubble damage, because they're already doing quite a bit of damage, so why don't we boost that? Disinfected bounce count, yeah buddy. The more bubbles on, the more they can bounce, the better. Now this thing likes to go into frenzy mode a lot, which is kind of annoying. All right, sterile swab. Too late for it to have that much of an effect, but that's fine. If you get sterile swab earlier, though, you can do a bunch of size boosts to it. You can extend the amount of time that it appears on the screen. There's our size boost. You can do you can decrease the cooldown. You can increase the duration by 5 seconds at a time with those power-ups, which will allow you to fill the screen up with sterile swabs and just do a ridiculous amount of damage. Medical tower damage plus 50%. With the amount of time that the medical tower loiters on the screen, that one becomes very, very effective. Now, as you can see, with the screen area decreased, the bubbles are really starting. Oh boy. Didn't want to have to revive, but I guess we'll do that. All right, here we are post-revive. Now, that could have been avoided if we had gotten the bubbles sooner. So if you're playing this stage, try to get the bubbles as soon as possible, because then you can do more upgrades to them earlier. And when you have a larger area for them to bounce around in, they're not going to break through the virus. They're going to stay inside it, bounce around, and do massive amounts of damage. They're going to kind of look like what's on the screen right now, which is just a completely excessive amount of bubbles. Disinfect damage plus 30 because there's so many of them on screen at a time. But upgrading the dagger damage would have been effective right now also. There's kind of not a wrong answer here. All right, now we're toward the end. We're just gonna let it finish off, and boom, that is how you beat level 36. Disinfectant bubbles, easily the most important thing you got going here. Next most important would be a tie between the medical tower and the spinning daggers, with the flaming cotton swabs coming in 4th place. So that is what you want to have in that order if you want to beat the level the most effectively. Other skills don't really matter too much. The hyperostosis is decent. The other purple skills and legendary skills are not super effective in this level. And then obviously the massage sticks and the flaming tablet, not that great. But that's how you beat level 36. Love, never get. This is Game Hydro. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.